Hello and welcome to the Simpsons Index. We have a wonderful podcast today with Joel and Jackson from Thumb Cramps guesting. But just before we get into the pod, remember to check out our other podcast starring Springfield, where we review all the movies that star the cast of The Simpsons. And for all the fans of Thumb Cramps out there, we've actually reviewed a couple of video game movies as well. That's right. Did you know Dan Castellaneta, the voice of Homer, is in the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie? Well, he is, and we've reviewed it. So go check out Starring Springfield. There's links in the show notes or search on your podcast app, but for now the plug is over so the podcast can begin. The Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. Coming to you out of SideQuest Studios, this is The Simpsons Index, episode 305. Hello out there, I'm your host, Elliot J. O'Neill, joined, here as always, except when he's not, by BT Calloway.
Oh, hoi hoi.
And joining us all the way from beautiful Melbourne, from the beautiful SansPants network, first of all, returning champion, Jackson Baly.
That's right, I am a champion. Thank you. Thank you for saying it.
And first-time guest, yet to be proven if he's champion or not, we'll see, is Joel Duscher.
Hey, I'm going to strangle Jackson live on air, like my hero Homer Simpson.
Oh, man.
And we actually get the recording of that. Amazing.
Damn. What a way to go.
We're going to be heating courtrooms, Elliot.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
But it's nice to go out like my hero Bart Simpson.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So, I'll take that.
Yeah. Why, you little? Yeah, just like that.
Oh my god, that strangling it's way too much, Joel.
Thank God this is an audio medium where we
Yeah.
won't get demonetized for the violence.
Exactly. You can have as much violence as you like.
I should edit more gunshots into the podcast I do.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it worked well to have a Who Shot Mr. Burns episode. Let's have on
Who strangled
SansPants.
Jackson Baly?
Who strangled Jackson
And then
Baly?
shot him.
Possibly the only other host of the show.
Could have been the guest.
Could have been the guest. Could have been the
someone
guest.
that walked into the studio
That's true.
with a vendetta
Yeah,
and some strength.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you guys for joining us so much today. And yeah, this is the Simpsons Index. We review Simpsons, but also we ask a bunch of questions. So first turning to you, Joel, your first time on the podcast, we like to ask our first-time guests, what is your history with The Simpsons? Where did the show begin with you? All that stuff.
I like The Simpsons, which I think is probably a huge take on this podcast. But I don't really have comfort watches, so I'm not one of those guys, because I think it's very, very common, especially in people in my age bracket. I mean, all of my housemates that I've lived with love to do this, of just throwing on The Simpsons and just watching heaps of The Simpsons, or revisiting classic episodes of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I will watch The Simpsons, but I'm not being like, hey, I gotta watch Marge versus the Monorail.
Yeah.
Or I gotta, like, fire up Who Shot Mr. Burns Part 1 and Part 2.
You don't have like any like comfort show at all, really.
Not
do you?
really.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have nostalgia for The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Like, I watched it when I was a kid. The best quote-unquote seasons of The Simpsons were probably the first episodes that I was seeing. So, like, I was a kid, and I remember watching things like, you know, when The Simpsons come to Australia and things like that. And yeah, like, I remember the hype behind, I think it was episode 300 that had Blink-182 and Tony
dude.
Hawk.
Huge.
So, like, all of
The
that.
Birdman.
That was big for me. But yeah, I don't find myself going back to The Simpsons heaps. I do occasionally dip my toe into modern Simpsons, though, and then love to hit people with the take, it's still pretty much the same.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's an interesting take.
That was the hottest of takes then.
Yeah.
wasn't
Well, yeah, that's the follow-up question as well,
Yeah.
is, where are you at with the show? So you don't watch regularly, but you dip your toe in.
Yeah. So I think prior to the episode we watched today, the most recent episode I saw was the one that was Lisa getting into Morrissey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we liked that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I seen that. I have seen some of the like crossover things I've done, which make me sick.
Yeah.
Like Loki meeting Bart Simpson or
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty grim.
Yeah.
That's grim stuff. Yeah.
It's like
What about the Family Guy Simpsons crossover? Did you see that?
the Simpsons guy?
The Simpsons guy, where Homer and Peter Griffin have a gasoline fight at one point.
I don't think I've seen that, but I have seen the
You should,
controversial episode of Family Guy that has the Quagmire killing the whole Simpsons family joke.
yeah,
People
yeah.
really hated that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it is upsetting.
Yeah, it's grim. Yeah.
Oh, you got to get on that Simpsons guy. You get to see Homer and Peter Griffin wearing short shorts doing a car wash.
Yeah, dude, it
Hot
gets sexy. It
Maybe
gets
I have
sexy.
seen it. Has The Simpsons met Bob Burgers?
Now that you mentioned that
Bob's
particular
Burgers is
scene.
in that, I think.
Bob Belcher, that's his name.
Yeah, Bob Burgers.
Bob Burger.
I
that's what
don't know
I thought his name was.
if Homer Simpson has seen Bob Burger. But yeah, I think he's in the crossover. I think they're in a plane together or some
Something like
such.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
Was it
that's
like-
right. It's like they need our support because he can't fly solo, and then it's very funny because that's like the best show of the lot now.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, does it have the highest ratings though?
What, Bob's Burgers?
Yeah, I mean, like critically, it might be the most well received.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been going long enough.
Are people tuning into Bob's Burgers and being like, damn, this is, appointment viewing?
I really loved the first season of Bob's Burgers. I was like, this show's great. And then something about it, I don't know, we drifted apart.
Yeah, sorry to take
Chips
this over,
passing
but
on the
this
nose.
is also a backdoor pilot for mine and Jackson's new podcast, Bob's Burgers Index. We like episode 1 a lot. There's jokes about Gene getting molested for some reason. Then they kind of abandoned that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it
it
got a
loses
lot
its
more
edge.
wholesome.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was much bluer in the first.
Yeah.
I think I'm an American Dad guy at my core.
Good morning, USA.
Good morning, USA. I love American Dad.
Yeah, the
It's
Bob's
got a
Bur-
place in my heart.
Bob's Burgers Index was also a backdoor pilot for our
American Dad Index podcast.
Yeah.
Just nesting back doors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly. Exactly.
both series that are still somehow ongoing, along with Family Guy and Simpsons, all renewed for 4 more seasons.
Everything
Yeah.
is ongoing. That's
Yeah.
what I can't fathom that South Park is also
Yeah,
still
but
on.
the
And
Cleveland show sadly is not.
Rest in peace to
Yeah.
the Cleveland show.
Bring
Yeah,
it
never
back.
forget.
But Cleveland's in Fortnite, so he's still
Cleveland Brown and Hank Hill
Yeah.
and Bob from Bob's Burgers all
Bob
gonna,
Burger himself.
all gonna enter Fortnite in the same pack.
Yeah. So Cleveland retains a sort of cultural relevance to
I
us.
think a lot about the time that because Cleveland leaves Family Guy.
Yes.
When he
Yes.
starts the Cleveland show, he leaves Family Guy, but then he comes back to Family Guy,
Yeah.
and then there's a joke that's very weird, which is Peter Griffin being like, "Hey, you're back. Here's a way to catch up," and then he hands Cleveland Family Guy on DVD.
That's awesome. Family Guy, mate, that's a funny bit.
Catch up on what you missed. And then
Yeah.
he gives him the DVDs.
That's good stuff, dude.
I think that's also around the same time where they kill Brian.
Yeah. That
don't-
was weird.
I dropped into Family Guy and watched like 5 or 6 episodes. That's right. During COVID, which is unrelated to The Simpsons, but this is while my household was going through a crazy Simpsons period.
Yeah.
We all were.
Because it was like comfort viewing because we couldn't leave the house. But I decided that I was going to check in with the late era Obama administration Family Guy episodes because could they possibly be
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And it turns out nothing. But it also turns out it's crazy and kind of like depressing to see something run its wheels so obviously.
Yeah, big time,
Spin
dude.
its wheels, not run its wheels.
I gotta
Running
say,
wheels is normal.
American Dad, because it changed from Fox to TBS, and it went just really weird with it.
Yeah.
And you got to give it props for that. American Dad will occasionally do what is effectively an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
That has very few jokes and is just sort of eerie. You know, they're out there changing the game. I'll say it, dude.
What do you think about that show that was made by the Rick and Morty team, but they put a guy in a wall or whatever? Out of
Solar Opposites?
Solar Opposites, yeah.
I got no opinion.
That was much better after Justin Roiland left.
yeah, I can imagine that. I can imagine.
I think
life.
this Earth will be much better when Justin Roiland leaves.
Big time.
Yeah.
So Jackson, we would turn to you now, our returning champion. Where are you at with the show? Are you keeping up at all, or?
Well, unlike Duscher, I mean, I do still give it a comfort watch every now and then. If I come home and I'm tired.
You've seen every
and
episode.
I've seen every, well, up until, I mean, now it's escaped me, but up until season like 32, I'd watched every episode.
damn.
I binge watched it. And, having done that challenge, I think your assertion that it didn't change. I think I watched it change in real time.
It's the same.
But I haven't caught up in the later seasons. I thought about watching it because I think a guest that you've had on the show previously, The Real Jims, released a video where he was like, well, I'm not going to say The Simpsons has got good, but it got weird. And I was like, well, that's intriguing. And so I watched a couple of episodes and then I was like,
When Bart turns 11 and the reality breaks or whatever, that episode, people like that episode.
It's weird in other places too. But I just couldn't. It couldn't, retain my interest. I think.
Yeah.
But I still chuck on an episode every now and then give it a watch. And
I think you should catch up.
well, I probably will at some point.
Yeah.
If you're
I
up to
want to.
32, there's not too much more to go. So.
Yeah, it's like what, three seasons.
Yeah.
It's just hard hearing how tired everyone is.
Well, actually,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was either today at time of recording or yesterday at time of recording. They announced that the new seasons of The Simpsons are going to be less episodes.
oh damn.
Oh,
and no
good.
Millhouse. You hear this?
No, Millhouse.
Yeah, dude. The voice
Millhouse denied.
Millhouse denied. The voice actor for Millhouse, she's like, I don't want to do this all my life, and she's dipping.
Yeah, she heard of this crazy thing called retirement.
Yeah.
And,
And I think she voices Jimbo Jones too, right?
Oh, does she?
I'm pretty sure she does
that off the top.
She does one of the bullies. But anyway, yeah, she's out. No more Millhouse. What are they going to do?
Oh,
I
they're,
think
they're
that-
replacing Millhouse for sure.
I reckon no. Give them the Maud Flanders treatment. Kill Millhouse.
Millhouse. Who shot Millhouse?
Who shot Millhouse? A little
it'd
boy.
be a high rating episode. Let's be real about that.
Yeah.
Oh, they show the death of Millhouse?
Yeah.
Or make it, and this is bleak, but
Yeah.
maybe make it like an anti-bullying PSA. Maybe he jumps off a cliff.
Oh, damn. Rest in peace, Millhouse, dude.
And then Bart would be like, I should have been there for my friend.
I should have been nice at a Millhouse.
Yeah.
That's sad. Millhouse, he's probably S tier character for me, I think.
Can I get a D tier character? Comic
Yeah.
book guy?
No, comic book guy has his moments.
He's D tier for me.
Okay, fair enough.
You don't think they could hinge a whole episode on comic book
Or a
guy?
third of an episode.
Well, we'll get to that because I think that they maybe shouldn't have hinged a third of the episode on one of the main characters because it's barely a storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fun thing is,
Yeah.
I couldn't possibly tell which one you were talking about.
Yeah. Comic book guy does carry the episode. The other two is like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But there is one that I found worse than the other one. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, let's get to it
mysteries.
right now. So
Oh my God.
Today, we are reviewing Season 32, Episode 7, 3 Dreams Denied. First released in November of 2020, fun year. Directed by Stephen Dean Moore, written by Danielle Weisberg in her first Simpsons writing credit. In this episode... Sorry, BT's reaction there just got me. In this episode, Lisa's got a crush on a boy at school, and comic book guy's going to Comic-Con, and Bart's becoming a voice actor, but as the title implies, maybe their dreams are denied. Hey, what did we think?
I think that it's really, 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 really funny to have a Simpsons episode just about three characters eating shit.
Yeah. And then with sort of no resolution to
Yeah,
it.
the
either.
resolution
Yeah.
is they
Well,
figure it out.
Yeah, sort of.
But like they don't reach the highs of their dream, except Bart.
Yeah.
I would suggest that two of the plot lines kind of just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just kind of unceremoniously end. There was one joke I laughed at, which was when Homer was bizarre setup, but he was like, everyone's living their dream. And then we got a fantasy sequence for each character. And in Homer's fantasy sequence, he was in a beer in a sort of donut inflatable ring. And then he ate the donut and sank and died. And I was
His
like,
own
you know
fantasy.
what? That's pretty funny. That got a legitimate chuckle out of me. Because... Well, that's funny, but it's also funny that that's his fantasy. Yeah. It's like, it feels very kind of old school Simpsons for Homer to just have this bizarre fantasy where you're like, how's that good for you? I thought that
it's
was
like,
funny.
Where he's fantasizing being at the football, and it's like, sorry, I need a starting quarterback. Hey, you, me? Yes, get your hand off my wife's leg.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same sort of vibe.
I really I like the concept that comic book guy is going through, which is if he asks a question that's good enough at Comic-Con, Marvel will hire him.
Yeah. That's funny
funny
as a concept.
Because
for
that
sure.
also, like, it definitely makes fun of, like I've been to so many Q&As where it feels like people treat it like that. Like a movie Q&A being like, I'm going to hit the director of this movie with such a good question that they're going to make me a director.
They're going to say,
to
hey,
a
get that guy,
consultant.
bring him backstage.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I also like the payoff that that actually does happen.
Yeah.
But just not the comic book guy.
That's pretty funny.
That's funny. The evil kid having a BLT that throws the bacon on the floor. That's
That's
good.
all right. That's okay.
Yeah, it turns it into a bread, lettuce, tomato sandwich.
Yeah, that was
It's not like that's not. I'm not saying
I'm not
S
laughing
tier.
out loud,
No,
but
but I'm
it's,
just like
you
that.
know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This episode
We,
felt like it was clever.
Yes.
We use the term dislodging snot.
Yeah.
When you're-
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. I
It's
can
just
see
like it's a clever episode. And when I watched it, I was like, yeah, that was pretty good.
that. Yeah.
Except for the Bart storyline, which sucks shit. Why is it there?
I think I liked in the Bart storyline the sequence where it was showing all of the bullies while they were watching the TV show where Bart's character became cool. And I just liked that one of them was just at a bar drinking. I thought that was pretty funny.
Because he's 10.
Jimbo was at a bar. Kearney was on the roof of his RV or whatever. And what's the name of the third bully?
Yeah, Dolph was in jail.
Dolph was in jail for some reason. Hey, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know, that's not nothing. Oh, and another joke I liked is when everybody was gathered around to watch Bart's voice acting debut, and then it cut to Marge and a couple of other people in the kitchen with a sign that says overflow room. And Marge is like, I think there probably was room. That's pretty funny. I like that bit.
I can't tell if I like respected it or hated it that Bart's plotline is solely there to suck off Nancy Cartwright.
Yeah, well, just to be
Because
like,
it's so self-referential as well of being like,
Yeah.
Bart voices a girl, but Nancy Cartwright voices Bart.
well, I think it's fun. It's funny to do that because it's not like I feel like if you'd done that in an earlier season, it would have been like, oh, did you know that the person who voices Bart is a girl? It's Nancy Cartwright, and then it's like shining a light on like, hey, voice acting is, but everyone knows.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I don't know what it's really bringing to the.
It did also have the old school, and look, I don't know if The Simpsons kept this up, but I definitely associate it with like that classic era of The Simpsons where there's like huge digs at animation and Fox.
Yeah.
No, they rip into the Annie Awards here, and
That's right. Yeah. It did another thing that I find really egregious about the later seasons of The Simpsons, where for some reason there's like about 8 celebrity cameos for no real reason and doesn't really add anything to the show.
Paul Rudd's there and he hates his life.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul.
that's his third appearance for The Simpsons now.
I think I'll never
damn.
stop to think about Paul Rudd.
Enough The Simpsons. But now every episode is like, I mean, if you go in the like the list of Simpsons episodes and you look at a more modern season, every single one will have like 2 celebrities. Enough. Relax.
I would say this one's a little less egregious. It's not so much of the "what are you doing in Springfield?" Like at least,
It's no Lisa Goes Gaga
No.
sort of kind of situation.
no, we don't have Paul Rudd making out with Homer in this one.
Yeah, exactly.
What could have been.
What could have been? Imagine. Now that's an episode of The Simpsons.
Now that's an episode of The Simpsons.
Homer goes Rudd. Goes Rudd. Yeah. That's the episode, I think.
Yeah.
How about you, BT? What stands out to you from this one?
Look, as my laughter may have alluded to earlier, the revelation that this was a first-time writer is literally what I thought. Like, I was mulling, because I saw this last night, and I was mulling it over today at work. I'm like, you know what, this just reeks of just amateur hour. Nothing ties back together properly. Storylines just stop.
Yeah.
And there's
a
real
post-credit scene.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very common in this era, so that didn't surprise me at all. And then to find out, yep, exactly that. I feel a little bad about all the other things I'm going to say.
Why? They're writing for The Simpsons. Even if it's
Yeah, I
their
know.
first time, hey,
look.
be better.
Yeah.
I didn't say I'm going to put the knife away. I just said I'm going to feel bad while I'm cutting you.
You shouldn't. They got a break on The Simpsons.
They're doing fine.
They're doing
Unless
fine.
they got fired. Off this
Yeah, and now
episode.
they're homeless and maybe dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then-
I mean, that would feel bad. If they've got like a true crime documentary being made about them and the horrible way they died, then maybe I will feel bad. But only if Netflix tells me to. Anyway, what stood out to me is really, I think, the kind of moment where I felt a part of me die on this episode, because basically it's how Bart gets into voice acting, as brief as that plot is.
Yeah.
So comic book guy goes to Comic-Con, or their version of it.
Comic Palooza, I think.
The store, Comic Palooza. And so the store's being run by some other guy who's just standing there doing voices. And Bart's like, what are you? And he's like, I'm a voice actor. And then Bart's like, I can do some impressions. It's like, okay, Bart doing impressions is pretty normal, but the way they put that in is just so the very first idea anyone would have. Like, surely it would be simpler to just have Bart there going, hey, where's comic book guy? The other guy goes, he's off. And he's going, well, he's always like, and then does an impression of comic book guy. And the guy's like, that was pretty good. You got any others, kid? And then
is the joke, which isn't a joke, but does Nancy Cartwright also voice Nelson?
Yeah. So that's, again, to your point of like the whole meta commentary of Nancy Cartwright in this, she also voices Nelson, who he does, and then Nelson pops into scene, punches Bart.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I can also do Todd Flanders, but it's not worth bringing him in. Yeah. She also does Todd, but not Rod.
That's funny.
Yep.
Intriguing.
Yeah. So look, that was just kind of the point where I'm like, I'm not going to have a good time on this one, am I? And then that plotline goes away for quite a while. And then we get the other two.
Hey, was this around the same time that one of the voice actors for The Simpsons said, hey, working on The Simpsons sucks and I should get more money?
That's happened a couple of times.
You're gonna have to
That's why
narrow that
Maud
down.
Flanders was killed.
No, that's a rumor.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's disproven.
I
She
see.
said, like, the actor has said that, but there is no evidence that actually happened.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's
the
sad.
whole, like, they wouldn't pay me to drive from Chicago or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I was under the
conflicting reports about
Why
that.
did they kill her then?
I mean, some of it is just like shock.
Fun.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting because she left around the same time as they stopped doing episodes with Miss Hoover, who's the same voice actor.
Yeah.
And that was, so clearly it was something to do with the voice actor leaving too.
Yeah, but I don't know, because I was watching or listening to or reading about, I was doing one of the things you do.
Yeah.
But the Simpsons, it's someone on YouTube that animates themselves to look like the Simpsons. They're a famous Simpsons YouTuber.
Oh yeah, yes, I know who you mean.
They have
It's
a
a
video
British
about it.
lady?
Yeah.
Oh, is it the Simpsons theory?
The Simpsons.
Yeah, the Simpsons theory.
Oh,
They talk
interesting.
Didn't we
about
have her on before she was famous?
Yeah.
Oh,
Whoa.
damn, nice.
She shout you out still? She should.
No,
Yeah.
and I've since asked her back on, and she said, I am too busy. And we got in when her YouTube videos were only getting thousands of views, and then it was like a month later,
Yeah,
she was getting
blew
in the
up.
millions.
Yeah, damn.
That episode still get traction there?
Oh, yeah. It's still
Yeah.
in one of our top ones.
Nice.
One of, not the?
No, the real Jims and Michael Swaim have got that position.
Michael
firmly held.
Swaim.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that'll do it. That'll do it. And then
that'll-
soon to be us.
Yeah,
Oh,
Thumb
I was
Cramps.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Bottom two. The other bottom two is your episode by yourself.
It's weird when you watch like later season Simpsons where it's like it's not Simpsons. It's not even like it's bad, really. You're just like it's just nothing. It's like I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't really feel like you're not like, oh, this sucks. Like I remember like in the like late 20s, you'd watch an episode and be like, well, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But this didn't even feel like that. It was just like, I guess we're just spinning our wheels,
I think,
waiting for it to be over.
and
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to insult a big amount of the audience here, but I think that like later Simpsons has exactly the same vibe to me as like The Office or Parks and Rec and stuff like that, where it's just like, okay, like I'm not laughing,
Yeah.
but I can tell that that's a joke. And it's not like necessarily like a bad joke.
Mm.
It's just like not getting reaction. So it just like kind of, you know, just smooths over my brain a bit.
Yeah, there is. I think some shows get to a certain point where even if they're not really good anymore, there's still a sense of hanging out with your TV friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
that's
know
kind of
these
what people come in
characters.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of what I felt mostly with this one, because I'm not super negative or super positive on it either
Yeah.
way. It just sort of felt like watching it, yeah, we're just going through the motions here.
Yeah.
But I think the thing I was disappointed about was like, yeah, doing a thing where you're doing 3 different stories where, the conceit is they all eat shit at some point or another.
Yeah.
Like, it just should have hit a bit home. It
Yeah.
should have just hit a bit harder. We haven't even touched on the Lisa story of it all, where
Wow, it's so nothing. Like, you know, what? There's a new
beautiful
boy.
blue-eyed boy comes to town, but he
Yeah.
wants her chair.
Yeah. And then he gets it. The end.
The end.
Yep.
I think what's weird is that I feel like in a maybe a more competently written episode, they would have at least joined up in some
Yeah,
capacity.
Bart and Lisa don't even. Oh no, wait. Lisa does give Bart a speech about it.
A bizarre speech
Yeah,
where
like,
she's just like,
it's the biggest attempt at emotion they have in this one, and it's not really earned, but it's there.
yeah,
And
but
then
also like,
there's the gender identity joke straight after it.
which is so funny to have Bart be like, I hate the way our generation talks, where the whole episode is lampshading the fact that it's
Yeah.
Bart's voice actor. It's just it's a weird
Yeah.
it's a weird dig. But like Bart is appearing in an animated cartoon that could theoretically be referenced at Comic Palooza.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could have converged those storylines in some way.
Because the animated the cartoon he's doing the voice for looks kind of like it's meant to be Game of Thrones.
yeah, or like a weird Adult
or like-
Swim.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know.
Somewhere
like,
between
it's like
She-Ra and Game of Thrones somehow.
yeah, it feels like there could have been some convergence of plot lines there.
Yeah.
But it seemed like sometimes you watch an episode of like, and it's not. I don't think just The Simpsons is guilty of this. I think a lot of adult animation does it, where you're like, did you want more time? Like, if you'd had like an hour instead of half an hour, would you have been able to tie this story together? I don't know. It's
It's the waste of economy of storytelling. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I think they were totally filling time in this episode, and like it is kind of accentuated at the end where it does, again, the non-resolution to any of these stories where Lisa plays her saxophone in the mall and gets a pretzel from it, then it jumps 40 years in the future or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it jumps back. And
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
And then she's playing in a jazz bar while her parents watch on in their pajamas.
And Bart
was
gets
weird
rich
as
in
well.
this episode, but that's never addressed.
No, yeah.
He gets a check that's worth more than Homer's entire month of rent.
They have that
Pay, not rent.
What was with that ending where Marge is like, I just don't like this music? What her final line was something like, she's like, I appreciate it, but I just don't like it.
I
guess-
want to like it, I just don't.
And that
Yeah.
was the end.
I think it's just like she's just like the joke there. You've seen The Simpsons. Marge is supportive, but I mean, sometimes she still has a cold heart, and jazz isn't for her.
Look, The Simpsons have this weird relationship now with whether or not they want you to remember the show.
Yeah.
They often will have parts that connect to the past, but then parts that completely don't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's hard to know what they want from us anymore.
Well,
What?
because Bart has been born in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s
Yeah, oh,
now,
look,
right?
Even ignoring things like the timeline, but, you know, for example, in this one, Bart gets a very well-paying job, or should I say Academy Award winner Bart Simpson, because by this point he has one.
Yeah.
That's right. He won an Academy Award for Angry Dad the movie.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, of course.
Angry Dad the movie.
Angry Dad the movie based off his
But you're
web
not supposed
short.
to remember that.
That's such a nostalgia. Like, you watch the original Angry Dad episode, it's so much nostalgia for the early internet. It's like a great episode on a rewatch where you're like, yeah, it was like that in like 2002 or whatever. He's making Flash animations. Yeah, I think that it must be a struggle to be a show like The Simpsons that has this kind of earnestness and, like, you could even say a groundedness baked into the, like, the structure of it, that you can't do things like, I think Family Guy does it and American Dad does it, where, like, they've been on so long, they're like, we're just lampshaded. They'll explicitly describe a character as being 18 or 22 because at this point, sort of, who cares?
Oh, yeah, because Bonnie was pregnant for...
Yeah, like, you can do stuff like that when you're not taking it seriously, but
Yeah.
The Simpsons has baked in this kind of like,
Yeah,
we
enough
have these emotional
real world.
moments. These are characters you need to care about, so they can't do that as easily.
They can't have one of the characters give birth to a fully grown person.
Yeah, exactly. That would seem peculiar on an episode of The Simpsons.
Well, I mean, in the 20s could have got away with it, but still.
Yeah, that's true. They were getting wacky in the.
I reckon they should just make one either Rod or Todd now, just a full-grown man.
That would be awesome.
He can be, Rod.
Rod got old, Todd didn't.
Yeah. Rod can be Ned's adult son. I
Yeah.
think Ned having an adult son would rule.
Should it
That would revitalize The Simpsons.
Yeah, everybody at the water cooler, you'd be like, "You been watching The Simpsons? Nah, isn't that played? No. Ned's got an adult son now.
Rod's old now.
Rod's old now. Oh my god, I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
They just put every character into a hat, and when they pulled them out, they did something. They all
Just
changed.
changed them in some way.
Lisa is a pony now.
Yeah.
But you hear that idea a lot. People go, well, why don't they just age them up for a season? Who cares? But the idea just to age one character up, but by a lot.
Way
Or
more
just
interesting.
gradually over time.
Yeah, make Rod 30.
Yeah, 30-year-old Rod. Now that's
What
an
does
episode.
that look like? He
I don't
lives
know.
with his dad still. That's
Yeah.
a given, only because you need the adult-son relationship.
Yeah. The people are clamoring for more adult sons in their media. It's true.
Let me ride for The Simpsons.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
So on the Simpsons Index, we like to look at the two pillars that we consider make up a great Simpsons episode. You know, the classic ones had a great balance of wackiness and heart. So starting out, what were some of the wacky moments that stood out to y'all from this episode? How did they handle the cartooniness?
I mean,
Well, a comic book guy had like his Doc Ock arms.
Oh, yeah, that was wacky.
That was kind of wacky.
Yeah, there's a lot of references to life in hell. The little rabbits are around all over
Oh,
the
yeah.
place.
At one point, Lisa's paramour takes out his blue contact lenses and he has red devil eyes.
yeah.
Well, and also a funny thing this episode kept doing is that the soundtrack was really dramatic, like they were almost trying to do a comic book movie parody.
Yeah.
But then they didn't do anything with it. But maybe that's wacky.
No, because, his big evil plan in the end was to dip Lisa's reed in hot dog water, at least just say he was doing that.
Yeah.
So that she plays bad, and then he gets her seat.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
Mr. Largo, he ate some CBD gummies and he threw up like
burped
tinsel.
a rainbow or something.
Yeah, that's something.
Which, again, that's not how they work. They don't get you high. Like,
No, yeah. He just needed to relax. It's crazy that he's a character. Like,
they've actually filled him out a bit more in
it's
recent
insane.
years.
Yeah.
He was in like hibernation for like the first 15 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've given him a
Bonkers.
boyfriend and a dog now.
Yeah, they were like, we gotta revitalize Largo. What's happening in Largo's life, dude?
Yeah.
What if Largo was 30?
Yeah, what if Largo became an adult son?
Whoa! What if Largo
Yeah.
is Ned Flanders' third son?
Whoa, Largo
What
Flanders.
if Largo is Rod's son?
Oh, okay.
Okay, we age Mr. Largo down
Yeah.
as we age Todd or Rod up.
We gotta no. Jackson, I can't believe you said this.
I'm so sorry.
It is absolutely vital
Yeah.
that Todd stays the same age whilst Rod becomes the
Okay.
adult son.
Yeah, you're
That is
right.
the core of the episode.
Yeah.
It's not funny if it's Todd.
He's right. No, you know what? He's right. And I'm an idiot for bringing it up.
Yeah. Yeah, the wackiness in this also, they keep trying to tie it back into like a relatively like groundedness, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like they just let it go full cartoon. It'll just be like, well, this is a crazy thing. And then,
Yeah.
I don't know, they'll just be like, well, don't worry about that.
Don't worry. Yeah. We're back. We're doing regular stuff again.
Yeah.
It's not like the episode is around like, I don't know, this is the episode I referenced before, but like the monorail episode, like there's nothing as like silly or cartoony as like, oh, they're building an entire monorail around Springfield and it's being made poorly and like the characters are aware they lied to them through song and like
Or
the
even
musical
stuff
number
like-
happens in universe.
Even stuff like Leonard Nimoy getting phased away at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
You know?
Squirrel with the laser eyes and
Yeah.
Yep, that elevator to nowhere.
Not particularly wacky, really.
Yeah.
As far as
No,
episodes go.
especially in comparison, because usually that's the thing that can be a sticking point. It's like, what the fuck, wacky, far out shit are they doing? But here it's like surprisingly down to earth, and it didn't need to be. Like, a few of them could have
absolutely.
used a bit more, 30-year-old Rod, so to speak.
More waka waka.
Well, they do have Homer yearning for death, which
Yeah,
again,
that's pretty funny.
he died. Homer fucking dreams of dying.
He dreams of destroying himself.
Do androids
really.
dream of electric sheep? Yes, and
Does-
Homer Simpson
He dreams
dreams
of
of
drowning,
dying.
dude.
I mean, running theory of his deity, his godhood is continuing, so maybe
Yeah.
he would dream of dying one day.
Yeah, must be nice. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that fantasy sequence as well, which also ended with the big joke of like the big rule of threes there was Maggie makes friends with a whale and puts a pacifier in its blowhole.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the whale
Fuck.
likes that. And
What's crazy about that as well is that they had the perfect setup for a rule of three where, and this is where I thought it was going.
Maggie also dies?
No, with a whale unable to breathe sinks below
Yeah.
the ocean. I was like, oh, okay, that would.
Maggie dreams of killing a whale.
Yeah, I'm like, well, it's absurd.
Hey, that would be a throwback to Nelson's famous poster,
Kill
Nuke the Whales.
Yeah.
You know that was just like a real thing. Like that was just a slogan people threw around in the
Gotta nuke
in
something.
the 80s, like nuke the whales. But you could get that on T-shirts pre-Nelson. That's pre-Nelson content,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh. But yeah, there was another fantasy sequence as well when Lisa and Blake are making eyes at each other and they see the music, and I liked this scene the way it started out, but then it ended up with like all the music notes going to a bug catcher and Largo
Yeah.
says something stupid and it's like,
Yeah.
No, Largo reveals something that's close to his heart, that he actually hates music.
That's
Silence is his favorite sound.
Yeah.
Sound of silence.
Sound of silence. Oh no. Yeah.
I forgot to mention as well, playing Blake was Ben Platt. I'd never heard of this person until today, but apparently he was in the Pitch Perfect movies and a lot of other stuff.
Yeah,
Huh?
Ben Platt. Wait, isn't Ben Platt,
Is Ben Platt?
And I gotta look at a picture of his
Is
face.
it?
now.
It's,
It's,
the movie I love.
What's
it called?
Edward, no, not Edward. Evan Hansen. Dear
Evan Hansen. Dear Evan Hansen, the funniest movie ever made.
That killed me to get to there.
Yeah, but I'm so
Evan
glad you
Hansen. Yeah.
did. Ben Platt's Evan Hansen.
He's the actor that if listeners are unfamiliar with Dear Evan Hansen, first of all, it was a very successful stage play where Ben Platt, because he's also a stage actor.
Yeah.
He did Book of Mormon once as well.
Yeah. I actually saw Book of Mormon when he was in it because it was
Whoa.
when Josh Gad was promoting Frozen. That's a story for another day. Or for right now, because that's the full story.
Yeah.
Don't save it for the Frozen Index, man. This is it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We've started too many podcasts.
Too many
fam.
indexes.
Yeah. So yeah, he was the lead in Dear Evan Hansen, which is about a teenage boy in a ridiculous circumstance that only really works in a musical or a stage play. They decided they were adapting it into a movie. His dad is a producer on the film, and then they hire him as the lead, even though he's like 27 or 28. And then they put him in makeup that somehow makes him look older to try and make him look younger.
It's so funny, dude. It's so funny. And then, like, it's a musical as well, and every song kind of sounds the same. And Ben Platt's playing it like with this. He's got this hunched. He's like a monster man throughout it.
He's a little bit Elephant Man. And this is obviously a heavy topic, but in the stage play, you find out that Evan Hansen has attempted suicide. And obviously, because it's a stage play, you don't see it. But in the movie, they show it. And he does it by jumping out of a tree.
Yeah.
But they don't make the tree big enough, so it just looks like he kind of just falls out of a tree.
And,
And
like,
they keep showing it.
And the premise of the play is that there's another kid who has died, and Evan Hansen, who's Ben Platt, he's been writing letters to himself. But when he dies, people find those letters, and they assume it's from the kid that died to Evan Hansen, and that nobody knew this, but Evan Hansen and this kid were best friends. And then Evan keeps up the lie in order to kind of have a family and also sleep with this guy's sister.
Yeah.
And in the play, it's presented as like a kind of a sort of like a dark little funny thing he's doing, where he's like a bad guy. But in the movie, they're like, you got to sympathize with this kid, this ghoul. God, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Everybody should watch Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah,
I mean, I
it's-
want to now.
That's
It's,
my homework to you,
and I think-
dear listener.
And Ben Platt handled the controversy terribly, and was he sort of did like the thing that Scarlett Johansson did when she faced backlash about playing
Ghost in the Shell.
the Major in Ghost in the Shell, where he like really like stuck his heels in.
It's dude.
And also then when it was revealed that his dad was a producer on the film, it like just got way worse for him. Anyway, he's also not a good actor.
No. And every song starts like this. Like he's about to cry.
So you didn't enjoy him and Lisa in the singing contest over the credits of this one,
No.
doing the anything you can do, I can do better bit?
Oh, I left before I heard that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was-
Painful
You
stuff.
didn't need to hear it.
I just was like, credits,
Yeah.
bye.
Well, it's weird because I thought, because they had comic book guy on the bench again, and I thought they were going to do like one of those, Simpsons over credits, let the actor improv thing.
Yeah.
Like, your cut, one of those ones. But
Yeah.
comic book guy only had 3 questions, and then they cut to this anything you can do, I can do better thing, and
Yeah.
it's sucked.
Oh, yeah. It's bad. It's
such
bad.
a weird touch for what actually happens in the episode, because after taking Lisa's chair in the band, you never see him again. So the idea they had this playful banter song at the end is devoid of anything that came before it.
Yeah.
Oh, and the
Wow.
note
Yeah.
that Yardley hits, I can do anything better than you. Like, it is so shrill and horrible that, like,
Yeah. I'm
gonna have to go
you made
listen
the
to
wise move of dipping out, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't hear it either. I
Yeah.
dipped too. It's not for me.
I did see it. I was there.
I
not
require
a big fan.
100% completion. I'm going to have to
Yeah,
go back.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I've disappointed you.
Well, leads perfectly into the heart of the episode. Did we feel the bumps?
No. I mean,
I'll get to what could have been in a minute, but so there's a bit where Lisa talks. So Bart's this voice actor on the show, doesn't realize he's actually playing a woman, but then Lisa has a line of, "What you're doing is brave and a little dangerous, and you should be proud." And it's like, you're selling this so hard, but you have not earned it at all.
Yeah.
and then especially Bart's like
The
his
payoff, Bart also doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just mean the turnaround on Bart where he's like, "Oh, I've wrecked my life." And she's like, "It's brave and dangerous." And he's like, "Wow, maybe you're right." It's like there's no.
Also, if he hadn't have done anything, like, because it's not like that he contacts the show and be like, "Hey, can you make my character cool?"
Or
Like,
he goes,
it all
he's-
just happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like the next episode, all of a sudden the princess he's playing is killing a bunch of people, and Elder Bully's like, "Oh, he's so rad now." It's like, cool, he did nothing, and everything's resolved, and he still has this high-paying job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a fucking crazy show to do that for your second episode. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And like, there was no like why, like what?
It makes sense, sort of.
Yeah.
First episode, it sets everything. Invincible does exactly this.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You
But
set up
surely
the,
there's hints of the violence to come in that first episode. It's been a while since I've seen it.
well,
Yeah.
the violence happens at the end of the episode, and
Yeah,
no,
end of episode 1.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you've not
yeah,
seen
yeah.
it, we
it's a
will leave it there.
post-credit scene. I'm pretty sure, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
like
but
mid. Yeah.
Yeah.
because
And sorry to everybody listening for every time we said Invincible then that got interrupted by the title card for the
Yeah.
show with
Yeah.
Invincible.
that would be crazy to do on a podcast medium. I should do that
You should, dude.
every time we say Invincible.
Yeah.
Just cuts.
Yeah, just cut.
Halfway through the word too.
You're gonna be
What? In what context? In Thumb Cramps, the video game review podcast we do, are you going to be like, "Jackson, you're
Invincibility is a classic thing in
true,
video
true,
games.
true.
Oh, dude, if you eat the star in Mario, you're going to be
become-
invincible."
It's
And
good
that's
to
it, no.
cut it wrong.
Yeah.
If you hit the star in Mario, you're gonna be
Yeah.
invincible.
Invincible.
Every time you die, be like, "Well, I thought you were
Invincible.
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 But the blue cap, that makes you No, I didn't say invincible, invisible.
Invisible, exactly.
Yeah, that's a
Gotcha.
good blue cap reference.
Yeah.
That's a forgotten cap, I feel.
I agree. It is a forgotten cap. Everybody remembers Metal Mario and Flying Mario.
Yeah, what color's Metal Mario hat then?
Metal color?
Wrong.
Green.
Yeah.
I remembered.
Yeah, dude, you didn't remember. Don't even talk to me.
We are coming up with a lot of projects on this. Now we have Super Mario and the Forgotten Caps. That sounds pretty
Great
good.
game. Yeah.
Let me tell you, remember that podcast I pitched to you that I thought we should do was
1 star?
reviewing Super Mario 64 1 star at a time and encouraging our audience to only leave us 1-star reviews.
Oh, that's good.
So
I still like it.
Yeah.
the 1-star review thing is such a funny idea, but it absolutely destroys your podcast.
Yeah,
Even if your podcast is good,
Yeah.
getting bombarded because you just will never get any traction. Apple will never help you.
What about this? What if you review 1 star at a time, and after every 5th star, you refuse to release any episodes until people give you 5 stars? Till you get five stars,
bitch.
then you
What's
release
the
the
thing?
next 5.
After we did, because we did a podcast, Thrones of Game, where we reviewed Game of Thrones, but in reverse order.
Nice.
And without realizing that Thrones of Game was the worst possible title for SEO.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of having another show that's even worse for being
Yeah, I think that's
noticed by anybody.
It's a great idea.
I think that starting a podcast where the premise is I'm going to make this podcast good against all odds, and you release one episode, and then you get every single person you know to give it 1 star,
Yeah.
and then you try and naturally course correct.
Yeah, kind of like in Mario Kart when those people who are really good at it pull themselves back to 12
Yeah.
Yeah.
to then come around or they do a lap backwards
Yeah.
to
So
then
they can
come
get
and
the invincibility star at the right time and then
yeah,
come first.
exactly.
So what about the emotion of comic book guy's story? You know, he
There's
had his,
no emotion.
Yeah, again,
didn't-
or the
much,
lack thereof.
Yeah.
much like Bart's story, it just stops. He gets back from Comic-Con after, forgetting his one question he was going to ask and being kind of embarrassed. And he's like, oh, it's all over, and then just makes fun of Ralph. And he's like, I'm cured. He's like, okay.
Well,
All right, then.
was it
What?
the making fun of Ralph, or was it like the reverse Excalibur of getting a popsicle stick shoved down his butt that brought
Yeah.
back
I'll
his
say that
powers?
was, you know what? That wasn't a bad gag. Where Ralph says, I'll put this here for later, and he puts it down comic book guy's asshole. That's not a bad gag. The Simpsons, I'll give you
That's
that.
not a bad gag. That's a good one.
I think that's okay.
That's
honestly.
Family Guy as fuck. Is
Yeah,
what that
I
is.
think that's fine. I think, honestly, The Simpsons is at a point where sometimes they got to be Family Guy as fuck, dude.
They gotta just
They
put a
gotta have
stick
Ralph
in an
Wiggum
arse.
putting a stick in an asshole, and if that's what they gotta do
that's what
to
it
get a
takes.
That's his
fucking laugh,
reoccurring bit now.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ralph Wiggum puts a stick in an
That's his
arse.
eat my shorts.
That's where this stick has
Yeah.
been.
Hey, actually, you guys are going to be the perfect people to ask about this.
Yeah.
I was trying to speak to my good friend Jackson, but he didn't have answers. So The Simpsons finds asses funny.
Yeah.
It is often a punchline, but it's only ever boy ass, correct?
To the better of my knowledge, yes.
Yeah, we
So-
don't see Lisa ever doing a pressed ham, no.
No.
Yeah. Or Marge? No Marge ass?
No.
Marge,
Look, the only time you
Marge?
get
I think we got the hint of a butt crack once, but
natural born kisses probably
Yeah.
has something, but it's not the comedy point.
Yeah. Isn't that one of the early seasons, like maybe season like 6 or 7, is just like weirdly sexy? Like it's full of bikini babes and like hunks for some reason. One of the early seasons is.
Not to my knowledge, we don't have that chart on the
Wow.
SimpsonsIndex.com,
I'm gonna start my own
but
podcast.
looks
Yeah.
something new to aim
Whack
for.
it off to The Simpsons, featuring Jackson Baly.
Finally, a good podcast.
Finally, a podcast worth listening to.
Yeah.
but there was a period though where they stopped having butts at all on The Simpsons, like in the 20s and early 30s, where like it became a censorship issue, and they were like, it is kind of weird that this 10-year-old keeps showing its ass on our show. And
That's
they
so
stopped
funny
it.
considering they showed his penis in the movie.
Yeah. But they edited
Yeah.
that out for TV.
Damn, dude. It's
But
just for
that
the-
was like, I legitimately remember being in the cinema, seeing that scene and being like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
The world is different now.
it truly was.
Like, people are like, oh yeah, that was crazy. They
No.
crossed the line. No. At the
There's-
time, I
there's-
was like, movie, okay.
There's life
anything can happen.
pre-Bart Simpson's penis and,
And then
post-Bart Simpson's
Yeah,
They
penis.
it's the
cash in on-
BC and AD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They just did not cash in on the momentum of showing Bart Simpson's boy
Showing
cock.
a little boy's penis
Yeah.
in their movie.
As the opening gag.
As the opening gag. It's like...
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
wait, no, the opening gag is Green Day being hit in the nuts and dying, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. But still, dude,
Full
that's
sewage.
crazy they
Movie,
did that.
yeah, like I was like, because I mean, I'm slightly too young, but I think that like the South Park movie did it as well because the TV show censored fuck.
Yeah.
But then in the movie, it was obviously bigger, longer, uncut. Circumcision joke.
Yeah,
Classic.
yeah.
But yeah, like they say fucking shit and it's all uncensored. And people are like, whoa.
Whoa,
and then
cartoons are cussing.
But then the show started doing that.
Yeah.
Like it was censored on TV, I think. But like when you, like the early seasons prior to the movie, it was just censored full stop.
Yeah. That's crazy that like it would have been insane if after showing Bart Simpson's penis in the movie, they were like, yeah, it's going to appear in the TV
Yeah,
show
we can
too.
just, like you're gonna see Homer's cock in like most
The chains
episodes.
are off now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, we can do what we like now. Wow, The Simpsons has changed dramatically as a show.
Yeah,
Became a hardcore sex TV show
Yeah.
so gradually.
That would be...
well, I mean, like Simpsons, like at the time, Simpsons and South Park, like at the time, people were like, "Whoa, these are like too much." Blah blah blah. Marge Simpson gets into a fight with Barbara Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we all know that.
Yeah.
But it's funny that like Family Guy has never really. They've never done
Push
anything
buttons.
that's like super outlandish, except that time that Glenn Quagmire killed the Simpsons,
Yeah,
and that
they've
was
never
just like
showed...
a.
Well, actually, I think some early seasons, if you get the uncensored DVD, they show Peter Griffin's penis.
Peter
Yeah.
Griffin's penis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think there's an early episode of American Dad, maybe season 4 or something, where you can see Stan Smith's penis too.
What the hell?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I
lot of
refuse to
animated
They've
believe
never
this.
shown
out there.
uncensored vagina, as far as I'm
Or
aware.
a breast.
Or a single breast. No, they've shown breasts. There's breasts in American Dad. Yeah,
Are
dude.
you kidding me?
There's breasts
gotta
in
get
the,
on
in the
this show, man.
DVDs. Uncensored, there's breasts.
I gotta start listening to your whacking off podcast.
Yes, dude.
It's also crazy you didn't know the answer about Simpsons arse. But
Yeah, but I
just
can tell
had
you about
all-
American Dad.
Yeah.
Okay? I know what the breasts are in that show.
He's got the animation nudity index right there.
Yeah, exactly. Right in my brain.
Because yeah, like I mean, like
Just add
there's-
to my mind palace.
like
my mind bordello.
Family Guy wouldn't get in trouble if they just had like Lois's tits. They
Yeah.
could do that. But
I don't know that they
but
could.
then like people that would get people talking.
Yeah.
I mean, for a weird way, because yeah, people would be jacking off to Family Guy.
I mean,
like-
I think they already do.
I think people already are.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I don't
Brian
know. I
the
think
dog wants to fuck his human mom.
that's it. Yeah, more or less.
People say fur babies, so I guess like does Lois see Brian as a son?
Or I think
he
she sees
sh-
him
he
more as a
shouldn't.
dog,
Yeah.
a dog or a man. She knows. That's what Brian. That's the
Yeah.
niche he fills.
And Lois is aware that Glenn is trying to sleep with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe
much.
so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
She likes that time where she gives Joe the first erection he's had since the accident.
That's
And
right.
then she starts showing off for him so he can jack off.
I think in one of the most recent episodes, I saw this on Twitter. She learns to masturbate, and then her and Bonnie hook up, and then Peter and
Her
Joe.
and Bonnie hook
Yeah,
up.
Really?
they're like we're leaving you guys, and then to get back at them, Peter and Joe fuck. They have unprotected sex.
Unprotected?
Unprotected penetrative sex.
I wouldn't recommend unprotected anal for anyone.
Well, I don't
really.
know if it's unprotected, but anyway,
Yeah.
and then you discover Lois and Bonnie, they actually didn't have sex. They
Yeah.
couldn't go through with it, but Peter and Joe did, and
Yeah.
they're like, wow.
That's
anyway,
funny.
so there's a lot of stuff going on in the
I
world
thought-
of adult animation.
I saw the masturbation clip,
Yeah.
which is just a discussion about masturbation. I assumed that was early Family Guy because
No, it's most recent.
she, because yeah, there's an entire episode about Peter walking in on Chris and seeing his dick.
Yeah.
And then Lois does the same thing, but I just assumed it was the same episode.
No,
but I
no,
was
no,
wrong.
no,
I was
no.
mistaken.
Couldn't be
Anyway,
more
Family
That's
accurate.
right.
Guy.
And they say that Chris has a massive hog in that episode. I remember that one.
Yeah. That's
Anyway,
exciting
that was the
stuff.
question about the emotions and the heart of the episode. But moving on, does this feel like an episode of The Simpsons? Are these the
Yes.
characters we know and love? Is this the show we know and love?
Yes and yes.
I mean, yeah, in that it is The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But like it also feels kind of like a sort of a hollow, less vibrant version. But it is definitely The Simpsons.
Do you think it's missing Homer Simpson?
Yeah, where is he?
Yeah,
he
where is
dreams about
Captain
drowning
Wacky
and
in
then
this one?
leaves the episode.
And then he's there for a bit as Bart's manager.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was weird as well, because one scene he's trying to strangle them, and then the next they say, oh, he brokered a deal for me. Like,
Yeah.
That's classic Homer.
It really feels like the later seasons of The Simpsons are like a series of kind of disconnected gags, but none of them are funny. That's like basically what it becomes, where like whatever the episode needs to do to get this riff off, we'll do, and then the riff is no good.
Oh, but this episode as well is so guilty of like the widescreen Simpsons thing of being like, we can tell you're bored with the story that's happening in the foreground, so we're just going to shove a bunch of gags into the background for you.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That's where a lot of comic book guys' Doc Ock comms come from. And
people messing around in the android's dungeon.
Yeah.
Getting stuff on the comic books and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, they're pretty committed to like pun titles in the comic book stuff. Like they have the From Heck book.
Oh, yeah.
And that appears multiple times in the background, but clearly drawn differently.
They're really proud of that one.
Yeah.
They actually reused some sign jokes. Like when comic book guy's excited about getting the rare radioactive man, he goes into the storeroom and screams into a bunch of used Hulk hands left only. And that joke's been there before.
Oh.
Because I hadn't seen this episode before today, and I'm like, I know that joke.
Yeah, weird.
I mean, that is also classic The Simpsons, as you would know as one of the hosts of the Simpsons Index. To just occasionally have things that, like, because the whole Simpsons thing is like kind of like a reset every time, but then occasionally they don't do that. And like that's a joke in itself. Like being like, yeah, I remember like when I last did this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, true.
I thought when I first saw him yell into the Hulk hands, I read it very briefly as Hulk feet unsold, and I was like, that's pretty funny. That'd be a funny gag. Because like, why would anyone buy Hulk feet?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it was
They just
Hulk
look like
arms.
those weird Balenciaga shoes or whatever the fuck they were.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that it's only left hands, do you reckon that that's a jacking off joke?
I don't think they're thinking that much into it, honestly.
Okay.
People wanted a giant Hulk hand to make their dick look smaller.
I mean, some people jerk off with their left hand if they're left-handed. So.
Yeah. Or if they're right-handed and want to mix it up.
The stranger.
No, the stranger's a different thing.
I guess this is the acquaintance.
No, the left hand is the apprentice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa, look out.
You're fired.
Yeah.
But yes or no, would you watch this episode again?
Yes.
No, probably. Well, I mean, I probably would, but not intentionally. You know, if I was like letting The Simpsons run and it came on, I wouldn't skip it.
Well, if you hadn't seen this episode, that means you haven't seen season 32.
Yeah, I haven't. I got up to season 31, I think.
So will you skip this episode when you start
No,
season 32?
I probably won't.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's your answer. I got it out of him. Don't worry, guys. I got this.
Thanks for the interrogation.
We got to the truth, damn it.
How about you, BT?
Look, I'm a real split on this one. I'll just reveal that thought at the moment because, yes, it's kind of bland and inoffensive, but that kind of makes me dislike it a whole lot more. Like, there's so little here to even attach any kind of feeling to that it just feels vacant, and for that, it kind of pisses me off.
Well, that's a perfect segue into the next question, so we'll start with you, BT. What would you like to change about this one?
All right. First of all, there's the efficiency of storytelling. There's things like when, because the way Comic Book Guy gets to Comic-Con is that Agnes Skinner sells Seymour's old stuff, and amongst that is like an original Radioactive Man still in box, which feels a little weird from Skinner, although I did realize he does show up in the background of things like Biomon, Sci-Fi Con, and things like that, so fine, whatever. But it felt like it would be more organic if that was maybe like a vintage G.I. Joe calling back to his military history. Anyway, point being, there's a scene later where he just comes back and is like, do you still have it? And Comic Book Guy's like, no, I sold it. And that's the scene.
Yeah.
And it's like, you didn't need that. That accomplished nothing.
Hey, I hate to get too ahead of everything just because you'll probably... Is the Simpsons Index in order? It's probably worth asking. Okay. Because the very next episode, because I let it autoplay, focuses heaps on Skinner's military past and has multiple references to it.
All right.
So the fact that they didn't do it in this episode is strange because it's not like they forgot.
Yeah. They know.
Yep.
Have we done this episode yet?
The next one, I do.
Oh, the road to Cincinnati. Yeah, we didn't mind that one. Where
Yeah.
Skinner and Chalmers go on a little cute road trip together.
And
yeah.
it kind of gives Skinner more kind of not redeems his character because he is very popular, but as in like it adds more to his character. I
Yeah, it
guess.
gives him a bit more dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, similarly, like, memory on this one is also a bit weird because Comic Book Guy and Agnes had a torrid affair once.
Yeah.
We can
Not
also,
referenced.
we've met, when Barb meets the voiceover guy, he says, I do itchy. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, we've met
I
you
remember that
before.
episode, don't you think I don't? But again, I'm willing to let those things go because they're not entirely relevant. But in terms of change, it's just tie any of these stories together. So the idea that Lisa finds, it's really playing that I love, and I got so fixated on being first chair, I forgot about, the love of music. Sure, but that's so late in the episode that it doesn't matter. Similarly, there could be a thing for Bart where you could either go with, who cares if people are making fun of me, I'm getting paid. Or on the flip of that, to have like an anti-heart moment where he's like, yeah, this is an easy, cushy job and I'm making lots of money, but I hate being bullied. I quit.
Yeah.
You know, just for the flip of that. And comic book guys thing, I don't know how you end it because it's so nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even know because there's nothing to it.
Have a DC exec walk into, instead of not Nelson, Martin, replace that with the DC exec because that was the joke of all of that.
Yeah.
Have him be like, hey, we found your question. We want to offer you a job here at DC. And then have him dig into DC and then be like, I'm back.
Yeah, there we go. Way
I
better.
did like that they portrayed the DC guy as a hick. I thought that was a funny left field decision to be like, yeah, what? DC are a bunch of hillbillies.
Yeah.
No one's saying that. So that was pretty
It
funny.
is also funny because, I mean, like, Simpsons is owned by Disney now.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers is their direct competitors. Just be like, fuck you, DC.
Yeah, we're making them look like idiots in our show, yeah.
No, they were making fun of the mouse in the movie, but now they're all about being Team Mouse.
exactly.
How about you, Joel? What would you like to change?
I would just make it the comic book guy storyline and just flesh that out.
Yeah.
Probably put a totally different... I mean, I like the idea that it's three people's dreams eating shit, but then two of them still do get to live their dreams, sort of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either make it a downer or don't.
Yeah, it was also never Bart's dream. It was just a thing he only just found out about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very like Homer Jobs thing where he just like stumbled into it. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, Lisa was already first chair.
Yeah.
So it's not like it wasn't her dream either because she was already doing it.
Yeah.
How about you, Jackson? What would you like to change?
I think that, and this is where I thought the episode was going, and then it pivoted left field. I thought that it was going to be comic book guy. He does ask the question that gets him the job.
Yeah.
And then it was going to be an episode where he got to write for Marvel Comics or the movies or whatever, but his pedanticness meant that he actually sucked at it. And the lesson for comic book guy was, it's actually more fun to make fun of these things than actually write for them. And I was like, that's like almost an interesting take to talk about the pedantic, annoying nerds or whatever.
Yeah, making stuff sucks.
Yeah, and to be like, it's fun to poke fun, but you actually, it's like more work. You, just because you love this thing doesn't mean you're going to be good at writing this thing. And then for him to find out, actually, it's not what I want to do. I want to go online and talk shit about it. I was like, that would be, and I mean, I guess you need to have the Simpsons appear somewhere in an episode like this. But you could just have bots.
Like, so late in the show's run, why not focus more on your B and C tier characters and give them
they
something?
absolutely should. I don't know why there's this, they require the Simpsons to turn up. But if they have to, have a B plot that is Bart's story, where at the same time he's in, he's part of this comic. Like he's in the animation industry, he's in the nerd sphere or whatever, and he's just doing it's just funny. It's not like a big emotional arc for him. You just do a bunch of voice acting gags or whatever, and it doesn't really matter what happens there.
It is again funny, and again, sorry to wreck this show by referencing the next episode, which we're not talking about, but it's a good cultural touchstone for me because I also saw it.
Yeah.
The next episode has pretty much no The Simpsons in it either.
Yeah.
So it's weird they did it back to back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Simpsons Light, they got sick of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not me. Give me more Homer.
Well, that was
Make the Homer show.
Well, that's actually kind of into what I'd change is because when Homer said that, he made some deal for Bart for his voice acting or whatever, I'm like, that's the story. Bart becoming a voice actor and Homer becoming his manager, and even sneaking in a sneaky reference is like, I had a voice acting git. Shut up, Dad. Like, just dismiss that the whole Poochie thing.
Yeah.
It is funny that they, in 22 short films about Springfield, was meant to be a backdoor pilot to doing episodes solely about the like B and C tier characters in Springfield, but they didn't get picked up. But now this late in the game, it's like, oh my God, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Make a whole season about Adult Rod.
Adult Rod and the Sea Captain, dude. That's the new show.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the Sea Captain. I don't want to see him anymore.
I think it's funny he became like a staple character in the series. Like
What's his first appearance?
He's running a seafood restaurant that Homer goes to. It says all you can eat.
That's his first appearance.
Yeah, the fisherman's, I forget what it's called.
And he gets
Frying
hanged,
Dutchman. And apparently, this was a character really pushed hard by Conan O'Brien, where a bunch of people in the writer's room also didn't like it that much. And it's like, what's the joke? It's just a sea captain. And
That
it's
makes me
Conan
love it
O'Brien,
even
so he's
more.
like, it's funny.
And I love that the writers were like, we got to come up with sea captain jokes. It's not like something you do when you're writing a normal sitcom.
I feel like there's just
What's the sea captain doing?
I don't know. Like they kill Bleeding Gums Murphy. He's more interesting than Sea Captain.
Yeah.
Did the voice actor die when they did that though? If not, if that is the case, I take it back.
No, but he did die fairly soon after.
Okay, he was sick.
You know, the Sea Captain he's a treasure hunter. They revealed his backstory, and he's been there for 30 years trying to find a treasure. And he didn't start as like an old pirate. He was just a man. What do you think about that?
I think that I'm going to go back in time and make sure that Conan O'Brien never gets a job on The Simpsons.
Yeah, fair enough.
Blasphemy.
Rob us of Mud versus the
Blasphemy. He
Monorail.
wrote like 3 episodes. It'll be fine. The Simpsons would be fine without him.
They're good episodes.
But then who will win the Mark Twain Prize in 2025?
Exactly.
I saw the roast of, I think it was a roast of Conan O'Brien where they had graphs and they're like, people associated with The Simpsons, you only wrote this many episodes, blah, blah, blah. Funny, edgy joke because it's a roast battle. I can't remember what it was though.
Yeah, that was the Mark Twain Prize thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I think we're here. It's time for our final notes.
Now it's time for our final notes. Everyone's final notes.
Joel, do you have any other bits of this episode you want to mention before we move on to ranking it?
I didn't like comic book guy's arms. Like, I don't like the Doc Ock thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I don't like that the arms move and that the constant, like, visual gag is that they're doing something. It's cardboard. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Labo's fucking come a long way, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, like, it's late. Like, put him in a different costume that's, like, actually funny.
Yeah. What would be a funny costume?
I don't know. When did 2020 this came out? Put him in any of the Marvels.
I think it's a shame that Marvel...
Dress him as Black Panther.
Yeah. That would be funny.
That's at least
Wakanda forever, dude.
Or Black Widow.
Or Black Widow.
You know your feelings on The Whale, the movie?
Oh, yeah.
I was reading this post where somebody was like, I'm a bigger guy, and I went and saw The Whale in the cinema, and halfway through, when I was like, fuck this movie, I looked over and I saw another bigger guy, and he gave me the Wakanda forever salute. I think that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that right.
Actually, that's who. Yeah, have comic book guy dress as the Whale.
I just think it's funny
There's
that...
a Brendan Fraser joke in this, actually.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's a shame that The Simpsons had, like, Radioactive Man that they could have used as a springboard to do a bunch of parodies of, like, Marvel stuff, which they kind of did.
Yeah.
But then when Disney got them, they were just like, yeah, it's just Marvel. We're just doing normal MCU
The MCU
shit.
exists in
It's kind of like, that's
Simpsons.
not... You've got the platform... anyway, he could have been dressed as Radioactive Man and it would have been just as fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is that weird thing. And like that episode we reviewed with you, Jackson, where they had like the Vindicators, where it was like an Avengers thing. And yeah, it was just a bunch of, the parallel import versions of Avengers. And they could have built up a Radioactive
You've got them there to play around with. Like, why, why not do stuff there?
Yeah.
Any other bits, Joel?
I'm curious, the 3 writers that come out, what are they writers for? Are they superhero writers or are they Simpsons writers?
One of them was, I didn't write all of them down, but one of them was David Z. Cohen, which I think is a reference to David X. Cohen. So
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
That was the one that stood out to me where I was like, huh? Because at first I was like, I guess these are real comic book writers.
Yeah.
And then the David Cohen thing, I was like, wait, huh?
yeah. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I already clocked all the guest stars for this episode. No, so I don't know. I think that's a like if you know joke. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind comic book guy's follow-up of, oh, they've blocked me all on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's-
How about you,
Classic.
Jackson? Any other parts from this episode you want to mention?
Not really. I liked that anytime anybody was handling the comics at the Android's Dungeon, they were getting shit on them.
Yeah,
that's
funny.
pretty funny. But I mean, otherwise, not really.
How about you, BT?
Unfortunately.
Let's see. Homer has a cup of Duff tea.
Oh yeah, that was a pretty funny gag.
Yeah, that was
weird.
another widescreen background joke, but I liked it. That it started foaming as well. I want to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
That's all right.
Joke I really didn't like was just comic book guys on the plane to Comic-Con and he's next to a guy who's dressed as Groot. He goes, I am Groot. And the stewardess is all like, oh, we have a kosher meal for Steve Firefish or whatever his name is. And he's like, oh, that's me. It's like, get it? Because he doesn't always pretend he's Groot. Not when there's
Yeah.
That
food.
was
It's
their
like,
big act break joke
yeah,
for that one
I
as well.
just wrote down woof.
Yeah, that stunk.
But okay, line I did like a little bit was Paul Rudd escapes into the VIP room, and comic book guy's like, "Oh, I saw into the VIP room. I saw Jon Favreau sniffing hummus to see if it was still fresh."
Yeah, that was all right.
It's
That was
such
okay.
a minor thing to like get thrilled about. I kind of enjoy that one. Oh yeah, look, almost like Homer's line of plans are great, but you don't underestimate the power of giving up. Except, and that was fine. Leave that as a line, but then he kind of rambles on for a little bit longer and then gives up. It's like, no, leave it as the line. That was enough.
Yeah, my final notes. Yeah, when Lisa's in the music class and that boy first sits down, and man, Simpsons do this all the time, especially with their voice actors who are playing children. It's just always so weird to see like such a deep voice coming out of a child.
Yeah.
True.
Well, now that, I mean, Ben Platt is famous for playing children at this point now, though. So
Yeah.
he
So
should
I
be
guess
better
that's
at
the
Yeah,
it.
he should know what he's doing. What the
I
hell?
wonder if that's a Dear Evan Hansen joke.
It's bad if it is.
Yeah, because they should make him an adult.
Not overt at all.
They should have made what's his name an adult then.
Yeah. He should have been Dear Evan Hansen in Springfield Elementary.
When Rod turns 30, he can be his voice actor.
He can Dear Evan Hansen the school.
Oh my god.
Adult
perfect
son
It all
Rod.
episode.
comes together.
Yeah.
Another background joke, which I didn't mind, was Maggie was playing five-finger fillet with her pacifier.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's a bit of fun.
Four-finger fillet, sorry, excuse me. And yeah, I noticed Lisa had her notepad that she threw out from the first chair of Lisa Simpson. Just wanted to throw it out there. What do you think your notepad, your custom stationery would say?
Good question.
The
From
bad
the-
thoughts of Joel Duscher.
From the arse of Jackson Baly, I think that's what mine would say.
Bad thoughts from
Yeah.
Joel Duscher.
Yeah, beautiful.
I'm still pondering. It's such a question. My chance to customize stationery at last.
We've got I've posed like the ultimate question for the ultimate Office Works fanboy
I
over
know.
here.
Look, it might just say notes from when I was here.
No, that's beautiful.
That sounds like a suicide note.
That's also good. Leave
The
people
suicide
guessing.
notes of BT.
All right. Well, before we move on to the rankings, BT has the honor of asking another question, which is very philosophical and very important. But having an old and a new guest, well, I'll let you take it away, BT.
We start with a new. So we like to ask our new guests, if you could have a sandwich named after you, what would be on that sandwich? Or if that's a little too hard because there's a lot to drop on somebody, just what's the best sandwich in your opinion?
Joel Sandwich.
Yeah.
What's on the Joel Duscher?
You know what? I think I'd probably go breakfast sandwich.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we're going to go... Trying to think if I do anything that's interesting with a
Look, you
sandwich.
don't have to. It's what you feel
yeah,
like.
it's what's in your heart, dude.
Yeah.
What's in your soul?
Like recently when it comes to sandwiches, I'm a real big bacon, egg, and cheese guy at the moment.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yum.
classic.
But then maybe with some chili sauce
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
that sounds great,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Sounds delish.
and a coffee. That's
Oh.
not a sandwich though, but
But it
that's-
comes with a coffee.
comes
Hey,
with a
look,
coffee.
our suggestions for this have gotten pretty wild. So if you want to add sides and extras to complete the experience, we're totally
Yeah.
fine with that.
Do you know what? It's side of fries as well.
Oh,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
Delish.
Yeah, and then I'm
Right, yeah.
calling it there.
Yeah.
That's as crazy as we're getting. And
that is-
it's a brunch meal.
Oh, I see.
Not serving before 10:30.
You get a good meal.
Sandwich and chips for brunch.
Yeah.
It's a big brunch.
Yeah, dude, when you're not eating breakfast or lunch.
Oh, I'm having it instead, in lieu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead
Oh,
of
actually,
as
that
well.
is true. Actually, there is two different types of brunches.
Yeah.
There's like a morning tea brunch, which is you've had breakfast, you're gonna have lunch.
You're having a little morning
It's
tea.
just little snack.
And then
Yeah.
there's brunch, which is the in lieu of.
Is
it's
in
two
lieu.
meals coming
Yeah,
together.
Yeah, I see.
Yes. And so the second one for you, Jackson, we've been asking our returning champions. It's been a few years since we had you on. Have your personal tastes changed any? So to remind you, the previous Jackson Baly was a soft white crusty roll, butter, mayo, rocket, Swiss cheese, radishes, pickles, turkey loaf, quince paste, more pickles, then grate the sandwich and serve directly on the table.
Yum.
Do
That
you
still sounds
feel
good.
this?
So much
Yeah.
like yours, Joel, Jackson's gone for an experience.
Yeah,
I like the grating part. I forgot I did that.
grate the sandwich, eat served directly
Look,
on the table.
it's quite
the
a
only
plot
thing
twist.
only thing I would add, as time's gone by, the only thing that's changed taste-wise, I think I would have to eat the sandwich, you need your hands tied behind your back.
Oh, yeah.
And you eat it like a pig at a trough.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Like you're
And I-
bobbing for apples.
yeah.
and,
you
I
eat
really-
it trough
table.
style.
Yeah. I would just like to really make sure that you note down that mine is served on a plate.
Yeah. No, mine's
See, we've
trough
never had to
style.
specify before. It's always been assumed. However, it's
Yeah.
good to know.
Live the
And-
pig life.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe you get a second serve of chili sauce to dip the chips into. Start your morning right.
I think while you're eating it trough style, somebody tips a glass of milk over your head to add to the experience.
So now we're starting to get into an advanced interrogation techniques.
Yeah.
George Bush is going to be giving you a call at any moment.
I love
A
this.
sandwich with a side of waterboarding. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for you, this is like a wonderful experience. For other people, it'd be, this is how I give up secrets.
I would love to sell out Osama bin Laden whilst eating this breakfast.
Yeah. I think that's good. That's my
Awesome.
ideal sandwich. Take it or leave it.
All right, well, it's time to rank this thing. On the Simpsons Index, we rank using a 6-point scale, which starts down the bottom at failure. Maybe if the episode was just meh, you give it a participant. But for the positive rankings, you got okay bronze, good silver, excellent gold. But for the best of the very best, you give cubic zirconia. I'm going to go first. Let me show you how it's done. Yeah, big old participant for me. Like I said at the top, it didn't inspire a huge amount of negativity or positivity. It just sat somewhere in the meh middle. So participant for me, BT.
I mean, part of my negativity comes from the nothingness of it. And question is, does that really carry over to rankings? Yeah, look, there's still hatred in my heart. So simply because of just a fundamental failure of storytelling and structure, I'm going to kick this in the pit of failure.
Oh, how about you, JD?
I'm gonna go okay bronze.
All right.
I mean, I haven't watched 300 episodes of The Simpsons, so
Well, there's about 750 now, so
yeah. So I haven't been worn down as much, I don't think. But also, I don't know. I viewed this episode like I view episodes of TV that people are like, brother, you got to check out this episode of The Office. And then I watched The Office, and what we just experienced, like the feelings you have, that's what happens in my brain when I watch American sitcoms. So to me, I'm just like, yeah, this is TV. This is what it is. It's okay. Bronze.
all right, Jackson, please finish it off.
Yeah, probably participant. I mean, like, it was fine.
You sure I want to go S tier?
Yeah, S tier episode. It wasn't even one of the categories. You even listening?
What podcast are we doing again, sorry?
Yeah, I would go participant. It left no impact on my life, basically. I've forgotten more about it than I've remembered.
So I guess based on our rankings, I'm the biggest fan here.
Yeah, biggest
Yeah.
Simpsons
Of The
fan.
Simpsons, yeah.
I would say that's true.
Biggest
Yeah.
Simpsons
yeah.
apologist, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that'll equal a participant by way of split decision. And, if you did want to check out more of season 32, that's got some of our better ranking episodes of the past few years on there. I mean, yeah, you mentioned before the Morrissey episode. What do they call him there? Willoughby.
Yep.
Played by Benedict Cumberbatch. Panic on the Streets of Springfield, we gave that a silver. Also, dull silvers for Undercover Burns, where Mr. Burns wears a Dave Harbour suit and tries to get secrets about his workers.
I
Weird
see.
pitch, but actually decent episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Road to Cincinnati, how does that go?
What did I think? Yeah, unanimous bronze for that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
It's not bad.
And then the episode previous to this one, Podcast News, where Lisa and Marge get into a true crime podcast, where Yardley Smith appears as herself in it.
Oh,
'cause
God
She
damn.
had a podcast for a while there. We ended up giving that one a shiny bronze. We didn't mind that one.
Okay.
Yeah. so-
Nicely done.
No, there's fun to be had. But guys, thank you so much for joining us today on the Simpsons Index.
Hey,
Thanks for having us.
anytime.
I love talking Simpsons.
I'll do this every week.
Oh, wonderful.
Coincidentally, we're on every week.
Yeah.
Well,
Whoa.
I guess you just got yourself a third host.
Hey.
The two of
Hey,
us.
Oh, well, I didn't realize, Jackson, because you didn't say anything.
Well, I think it was implied.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if people want to hear more of you guys every week, where can they do that?
Well, they can check us out on our new podcast hosting gig, The Simpsons Index.
Yes, yeah,
We'll be
yeah.
appearing every
As
single
the
week.
third dual guest.
They're just taking over now.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll
also
take a rest. It'll be fine.
we also host a bunch of podcasts on the SansPants Radio Network. If you like the two of us, the best two to check out would be Plumbing the Death Star, which is a comedy pop culture podcast, or Thumb Cramps, which is a video game review podcast, which is a terrible pitch for a podcast in 2025, but ours is different, we promise.
Yeah.
Ours is the only video game review podcast that you will learn less about video games and more what makes you sick.
Yeah, I've been described by us and guests as a hostile listening experience in the best possible way. I'm also on a bunch of sort of role-playing podcasts. D&D is for Nerds is an actual play D&D podcast, and Beyond the Map is an actual play World of Darkness horror podcast, so check them out too.
We also have a podcast called Baseless Speculation, and I also appear on the D&D podcast every now and then.
Yeah.
I was going to say, as a bit of a fan myself, I'm going to put a plug for Tales from Handle Creek and the
you.
Dinosaur Saga, which
Whoa.
I've just
Classics.
completed a re-listen to that. I love that series.
True classics.
I'm in Handle... No. Oh, yeah,
You're in Handle Creek too,
yeah.
dude. You're Brick Hickman.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
He shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Like, that can be applied to any action I've ever done in role-playing.
That's
He shouldn't
role-playing
have done
actions.
that.
I probably should have done that.
Yeah.
Hey, Joel, he shouldn't have
probably
done that.
shouldn't have done that.
But no, we are big fans of you guys in the SansPants network. And
Thank you so
Hey.
much.
yeah, last year, Thumbs
Anytime.
Cramps, according to my stats on Pocket Cast, was my most listened to podcast. So
Hell yeah.
thank
Hey,
you for
It's
the
a
brain
wonder
rot.
you're here today.
Yeah.
And not sick
Yeah.
somewhere.
I'm just glad to be one of the few listeners that you have that didn't have a horrible road accident or
Yeah. We
It
still get
happened.
emails about it, so your time could still be coming. Elliot.
Exactly. We get so many emails about people being in car accidents listening to our podcast that we don't read them all out.
Yeah.
We just couldn't.
Yeah.
And the people would get bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, another person hit by a car. Oh,
Yeah,
big
yeah,
one.
cool. I wish they'd talk about sucking each other off or whatever Thumb Cramps talks about now.
And yeah, I really tried, but I tried to get you a Simpsons movie UMD down to you guys, but it hasn't arrived here yet.
Hey, that's okay.
Hey, that's okay. If it's coming to your place first, please sign it. We'd love
Yeah, that would be
UMD signed
huge.
by the Simpsons Index podcast.
That would be huge.
Yeah.
It'd be big for our collection.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, gladly do that. But BT, what if people want to hear more of us?
Well, they can go to the podcatcher they're currently listening to, how convenient, and check out Starring Springfield. This is our other show where we review movies that star the cast of The Simpsons. So we've covered a whole bunch of there. Like, what's our current release for that one? I can't even remember. I was listening to it on the way home, and it's just left my head.
Oh, we
That's always
reviewed that
fun.
weird I'll Do Anything movie
That's the one.
that was meant to be a musical, but then
Yep.
they recut it so it wasn't, and it was still 2 hours long. And
That's awesome.
Weird movie.
yeah, we've done like a weird range of movies on starring Springfield, like
Yep.
The Birdcage, Hank Azaria.
Yep.
Yep. We've done Godzilla before everyone yells at us. That always comes up first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys have a favorite movie starring a Simpsons person?
The Birdcage is a good movie.
Birdcage rocks. I reckon the problem with the Simpsons voice cast,
Yeah.
and this is going to be crazy, but you don't see their faces. So
Yeah,
when they
you don't
pop
know.
up in movies, you're like,
Yeah, unless you already know.
Yeah.
And
You
yeah,
don't
there's.
know.
I mentioned the episode that has Yardley Smith starring as herself. Dan Castellaneta has starred as himself in The Simpsons. I
Okay.
don't know that anyone else has.
My favorite would be Aladdin 2, where Dan Castanella comes in and replaces Robin Williams because of voice acting disputes. That's my favorite.
Oh, yeah. And we've got that one, baby.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll have to give it a listen.
Yeah.
I reckon Hank Azaria has probably been in something that I fucking love.
Yeah.
But I'm going to need to look it up.
I quite like Hank Azaria as an actor.
Yeah, he's the one that's got like the most reps in. It's like him and Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
And yeah, but actually by the time that this hits the free feed, we'll have done the earliest movie we could possibly review for that, which is Abbott and Costello Go to Mars, which features like a 9-year-old Harry Shearer in it.
Whoa. Huge.
Oh, I mean, Hank Azaria is in both Quiz Show and Heat, which
Oh,
he did
yeah, of
back to
course.
back.
Yeah,
That's
no-
crazy.
yeah, we reviewed that one. Fucking never heard a quiz show before. That was really good.
Good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Quiz Show
And-
rocks. Oh, he's also in Pretty Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Is he?
You know
Damn.
that.
Holy shit, we haven't done that one yet.
All right. Well, someone out there, if they want to go to patreon.com/SideQuest Studios and sign up, they can suggest Pretty Woman for us to watch.
Oh, sorry. I would just like to. I've changed all of my answers. The Simpsons movie.
Oh, you rascal.
Yeah, we've
Look,
had a
we
couple
have-
of smartasses trying to suggest that
We've
one.
got that before, and the answer is
Not
always,
even original.
listen here, you little shit.
Yeah, so to suggest movies for us to review on Starring Springfield, you got to do it via the Patreon, patreon.com/SideQuest Studios. Got a bunch of other stuff, bonus podcasts every week and what all. But for now, that's been it for the Simpsons Index. And yeah, one more time, thank you very much, SansPants boys. Thank you very much, Jackson.
Hey, thank you.
And thank you, Joel.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you, BT.
Don't look me in the voice.
And I'm your host, Elliot J. O'Neill. That's all the mustard in the house.
Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. We're also on social media. You can follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, and on Threads. Links for all that and more are down in the show notes. And lastly, consider giving us a 5-star review. Why not? We'd do it for you. Now, there's no bonus scenes for this episode. Everything we left in was pure gold, so we'll catch you next time.
city to see a marching band. He said, son, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned? He said,
Once upon a time,
he said,
not so long ago,
he said,
there was a little girl, and her name was Emily.
he said,
She had a shop.